Right now, something beneath the surface of Mars is still releasing pulses of methane on a schedule, and NASA's brightest scientists have no way to stop it, explain it, or locate its source. It has been doing this for over a decade. The pattern is too precise to be random, and what Perseverance found buried inside that signal is the part they are afraid to say out loud. Mars is supposed to be dead. That is the official story. A frozen, barren world, its atmosphere a thin wisp of carbon dioxide, its surface scoured by radiation, its volcanic fires extinct for hundreds of millions of years. That is what the textbooks say. That is what NASA told us. Then Curiosity landed in Gale Crater in 2012, and everything changed. Gale Crater is an ancient lake bed, dried up, locked in stone, a monument to a world that used to hold water. Scientists sent Curiosity there because of that history. They wanted to understand Mars as it was. What they got instead was something Mars is still doing right now. Curiosity's instruments detected methane, not a trace, not a ghost of a signal, a genuine, measurable spike, and it kept coming back. Methane on Mars is not supposed to exist. Here is why that matters. Methane is fragile. Ultraviolet radiation from the sun tears it apart within a few hundred years. If methane is floating in the Martian atmosphere today, and it is, then something is actively making it. Right now, the question is what? On Earth, methane comes from two sources, either geological processes, volcanic activity, chemical reactions in ancient rock, or biology, living organisms, microbes mostly that breathe in hydrogen and exhale methane as a byproduct. Two sources, that is it. Mars has no active volcanoes. Scientists confirmed that. The geological explanation requires heat, and the heat is gone. That leaves the second option sitting there, uncomfortable and unspoken, in every report NASA has published since 2014. And here is the part that nobody wants to say directly. The methane does not just appear randomly, it spikes, it pulses, it follows a pattern tied to Martian seasons. That is not what dead rock does. NASA ran the numbers. They modeled the geological explanations, serpentinization, ancient ice deposits releasing trapped gases, perchlorate chemistry in the soil. Every model came up short. None of them explained the seasonal pattern. None of them explained the scale of the spikes. Then the European Space Agency's Mars Express orbiter looked for the methane from space. It measured a massive plume on the exact same day Curiosity registered its largest spike from the ground. Independent instruments. Independent spacecraft. Same signal. Two different machines, two different agencies. One result neither of them wanted to report. They have no explanation, not a working theory, not a frontrunner candidate. After 12 years of data, the source of the methane on Mars is officially unknown. But that is not even the part that worries them. Here is what nobody is telling you. In 2021, Perseverance landed in Jezero Crater, 3,700 kilometers from Gale. Different crater, different terrain, different geological history entirely, and it carried the most sensitive organic chemistry instruments ever sent to another planet. It found organic molecules, complex ones, carbon-based chains that are the raw architecture of life as we know it, the kind that form when chemistry gets complicated. The kind that on Earth you find in sediments where biology happened. NASA's official statement was careful, measured. They said the molecules were consistent with biological processes but could also have abiotic, non-living origins. They said more study was needed. They moved on. What they did not say is this. The organic molecules in Jezero sit in the same rock layers that would have been underwater when Mars had liquid oceans. The methane spikes from Gale show their strongest pulses during Martian summer when subsurface ice near the equator partially thaws, when liquid water becomes briefly, temporarily possible again just below the surface. The pattern, the molecules, the timing, all pointing in the same direction. Scientists will not say it plainly, but the data is not subtle. Something beneath the Martian surface is responding to temperature. It is cycling with the seasons. It is producing the chemistry that life produces. And it has been doing this the entire time we have been watching. If this is biology, even ancient, dormant microbial biology, then nothing is the same. The Fermi paradox, which asks why the universe is silent if life is common, gets a brutal answer. Life is not rare. It just does not advertise. Every policy NASA built around contamination protocols, planetary protection, the careful sterilization of spacecraft, all of it rests on the assumption that Mars is lifeless. If that assumption is wrong, we may have already contaminated the only other living world in the solar system with our own microbes, carried them 140 million miles, delivered them to a neighbor that never asked to meet us. And if Martian life evolved independently, if it has a different origin than Earth life, then life is not a miracle. It is a rule, a law of physics we have not written yet. something the universe does wherever conditions allow. Something happening right now on a world we keep calling dead. But here is what I keep coming back to. If something beneath Mars is still alive, cycling, breathing, pulsing with the seasons, what does it make of the rovers? Two metal machines crawling slowly across its ceiling, drilling into its roof. Does it even know we are looking?